Hi, my name is Greg Alora. I'm Product Manager for Indoor Grow Science, a division of Barron Lighting Group. I'm here today to tell you about our Cooltube Indoor Horticulture Light. Indoor horticulture lighting consists of three components. We always have a reflector and a socket system. We have a ballast to run the lamp, and we have a lamp that's designed for horticulture use. We'll start with the Cooltube itself. And as it unpacks from the box, the first thing you'll unpack is the Cooltube itself. As you can see, we have styrofoam and end caps to keep it safe during shipping. And the Cooltube itself is made of high impact polycarbonate, and it has the socket for the horticulture lamp. The next thing that's in the box with the reflector is the reflector itself. The reflector is a high quality aluminum reflector with a pebbled texture that disperses and diffuses the light, and it comes in three pieces that assemble, and it also has a protective coating to keep it in pristine condition before use. The reflector assembles to bracket pieces that allow you to attach it to the tube itself, and these brackets also allow for a means of hanging the fixture. And we have our brackets and our hardware there. And we also have our instruction sheet that tells you how to put it all together. Once the fixture is assembled, which we'll do in just a moment, we attach the ballast, which runs the lamp itself, and then we have our horticulture lamp, which is designed specifically for indoor horticulture uses. It's our real red high pressure sodium lamp that's designed for use with the Cooltube. In a moment, we'll come back after we assemble the Cooltube, and we'll show you how the assembly went, how the rest of the parts go together, and how we'll hang it onto our table. Okay, now we'll assemble our Cooltube, and we'll start with the reflector system and the brackets. So we'll take our Cooltube and we'll set this up out of the way. And we'll start with our reflector. Here's our instruction sheet. It gives you a parts list as well as the assembly instructions. We have a middle piece and two side pieces, and we'll start by putting the two screws in the center right here. We have our hardware package. And the hardware package has machine screws, flat washers, and then there's a combination star washer nut that will allow a locking function on that nut so it doesn't come loose during operation. The two tools that you'll need to assemble the Cooltube are a Phillips screwdriver and a 7mm nut driver. You could also use a 7mm box end wrench as well. So we start with our reflector. And we put the head side on the reflective side of the material, and we assemble this. The center pieces first. And line the holes up. And we put our star washer on there. After you have the first one in, it becomes much easier. We have that assembled, as you can see. We'll put the second piece on in the same way with the flat washer, the machine screw on the reflective side, and the nut with the star washer on the back side of the reflector. And we start here. Hand tied is good at this point. You just want to kind of hold that structure of the reflector together. And we'll go through and tighten these up in just a moment. Now we have the body of the reflector done, and we'll take the bracket that we have, and we'll actually attach this bracket to our fixture here. And as you can see, it kind of fits in there so it doesn't flatten the V part of the bracket underneath. And then again, we'll put the machine screw through the bottom side of the fixture. then through our top, and finally through the last piece of the reflector. And then again, we'll hand tighten that. And we'll repeat this all the way around until we have the reflector completely assembled with both brackets. Our washer, machine screw, our nut and star washer. And then we repeat this process on the far side. As you can see, the further along we go in the process, the more rigid the reflector becomes. The reflector material itself can be peeled either before this process or after the process. Probably it would be easier to go ahead and peel these before you begin the assembly process. That way you don't have to worry about trying to get that material out from around the screw heads. Didn't quite get that one in there. We have our washer. There we go. And that's the assembly of the reflector itself. And as you can see, now it has its bracketry on it, and it's all ready to go to attach to the fixture itself. What we could do is take our 7mm nut driver and tighten these up. Have our Phillips to hold it on the back side if needed, and just hand tighten all these nuts. You don't want to really crank down on these too much. It's not necessary. And we have that assembled. Now our next step will be to attach this to the Cooltube itself. Okay, we have our completed reflector assembly, and we're attaching it to the Cooltube now. And when you do this, make sure that you do get the Cooltube fully seated within the bracket, so that the straps that we have here will strap nicely around the fixture. As you can see, they hook on the hooks. They hold together in the center. And then we attach them with the machine screw, a flat washer, and our star washer. We can hand tighten it until we get that started. As soon as we get it started, then we can tighten it with our tool. And we tighten that on, and then we'll repeat the process on the far side. Once again, make sure you're clearing any of the screw heads that you have there. I believe the screw heads are only on the socket end of the fixture, so that's really where you have to be careful there. Again, those brackets clip, and then connect in the center with the machine screw, a flat washer, and the star nut. And we tighten these. And there we go. There's the assembly of the Cooltube fixture. So this is the reflector assembly, completely assembled out of the box and all put together and ready to hang. Now, 2 notes here. The Cooltube can be used just as it is with no active air cooling. We could also attach 6-inch ductwork, and you can vent the Cooltube through this ductwork, and that's what it's designed to do. But it can be operated either way. In a small hobby application, you probably would not use the air cooling. In larger commercial applications or multiple light grows, you may want to use air ducting. Okay, we have our completed and assembled Cooltube fixture now. It's got the full reflector assembly. It's attached to the brackets. The brackets are attached to the tube itself, and we've peeled the gold reflector, or the gold coating off the reflector. That's what keeps it in such nice shape. And as you can see, it's silver underneath that gold coating, and it allows it to stay in pristine condition until we're using that. So we have our fixture now. Now we're ready to hang it over our table. And first, let me show you the rope ratchets real quick, and we'll go over here. These are our hanging ratchets, and basically they'll hang from anything, hooks in the ceiling, and they allow you to raise and lower your fixture as needed. There's a little knob right there, and you could raise and lower your fixture however you need it as the crop underneath your plants grow. So we have it right about here now, and we'll hang our Cooltube on here so that you could see just exactly what it would look like in application. We have our quick clips here that clip right to this. And we can level the fixture as needed there. Next, you'll see our 15-foot cord here, and this attaches to our ballast, which we'll install real quick for you so that you could see the fixture, how it attaches to the ballast, and how it operates. After we attach the ballast, we'll install the lamp, and we'll operate the fixture. So we have our 15-foot cord here, as you could see. It's very long. It allows you to remote mount your ballast to remove the heat from your grow area. And there's a very specific S-style plug that allows you to plug your fixture into your ballast, and it allows no confusion with the plugs at all. So there's no mixing up the plugs or actually plugging anything into the wrong source or the wrong plug. So here's our ballast, and we'll show you it as we unpack it. As you can see, we have our nice point of packaging product here, and we have our ballast, which actually will run many different lamps, not just the 1,000-watt lamp. We can run many different. We could run a 1,000-watt, we could run a 600-watt, we could run a 400-watt, and we also have a Lumen Plus setting, which allows you to overdrive a 1,000-watt lamp and actually get about 1,100 watts of performance out of that 1,000-watt lamp. The Lumen Plus is only for 1,000-watt lamps. What we do is we have our Growlite ballast. I'll just set it here to install just real quick so that we get an idea. Now, normally this could mount to a wall or to a ceiling or be mounted onto a shelf, anywhere where it's a safe location that's remotely removed from your grow area. We just happen to have our display set up here ready to go for it. So we have that, and as you can see, that's that very unique configuration of the plug off the end of the ballast to avoid any confusions. Our plug will plug right into that. As you can see, everything lines up just fine, and it seats completely. Powering the ballast is our standard 120 volt plug and outlet here. This outlet plugs right into the back side of the ballast as we put it in, and then we'll plug it in just a moment. We'll plug it into our actual outlet. Next, we'll install the lamp, and as we talked about before, we have a very specific horticulture lamp that we sell at Growlite Indoor Grow Science. We have our Real Red high pressure sodium lamp, and this lamp is specifically designed for flowering cycles of plants, fruiting and flowering. And we'll unpack it again. It's packed very nicely. Point of purchase packaging with lamp information. And our lamp actually will go into the fixture. Please be sure the power is off both at the ballast and the wall before you install this. And once it's installed, you will see It suspends itself nicely in the center of the tube. Make sure to fully seat that lamp. Now the ballast is actually ready. We could turn this on. We want to make sure that we have it in the 1000-watt setting for a 1000-watt lamp, a 600-watt setting for a 600-watt lamp, or a 400-watt setting for the 400-watt lamp. And we have it plugged in. And you can see the fixture as it's coming up to brightness. Again, the Cooltube can be operated as an air-cooled fixture with ductwork attached to either side and an inline fan exhausting air over that lamp and out of your growing room environment. Or it can be operated just as you see here with no inline air cooling. And it operates just fine and is still UL listed. We have the full UL listing on the Cooltube itself. We have it on the ballast as well. So we have the full safety ratings on this fixture. And there you have it, the Cooltube assembled and installed.